Good evening, all. I'm Epstein with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up, and this is for Tuesday, the 21st of May, a beautiful day in Chicago, I can tell you that, 2024. All right, my friends. A bit of a mixed day in the S&P and the Dow and the QQQ and the IWM. I couldn't believe when I read today that yesterday was the lightest trading day of the year at the New York Stock Exchange so far. I didn't realize it was that thin. But if you looked at the futures markets, and if you go to that tape, you'll see how narrow the trading bands have become over the past 4 days. And what the market's waiting for is a lot data. NVIDIA. Tomorrow after the close, we get NVIDIA's earnings. It's going to be what the market's looking at. The probabilities via the option market, I read that they said it's 7% up or down off how the report works. So we will see what that does and what it's going to do to the whole market. Now, you know that NASDAQ, you're going to have NVIDIA itself, you're going to have all the other chips, the stocks, everything's going to be directly tied to it. It could beat and the marketplace goes down. It could be a small miss and you see why, and then the market goes up. It could do anything. Adding fuel to the fire, we have the FOMC tomorrow, minutes coming out. Now, I don't think they're important. And the reason is so many of the members have spoken. If you get my full research, my written research with my combo package, where you get the morning subscriber video for futures as well as what I write twice a day, and then the ETF video that I do in the morning, you know that I've been covering what the Fed speakers have been saying. And the way I write, tell you what they are, and I give you the bullet points. I read their comments. If they have a speech, I read it, and I give you the highlights of what they said. You don't want to read every word. Sometimes I'll include it if you want it. Not a problem. It's there. And we get some ideas. Surveys. I'm always looking at Fed surveys as to how things are going. The New York Reserve Bank, I'll put out there so you get these special reports with all that. And what you're going to have now, let's see if I can get this to come up for us. Here we go. You're going to get the Mortgage Bankers Association first thing in the morning at 6. You're going to get existing home sales for April. Did you see Toll Brothers? Nice up, a beat. They're building spec homes. I didn't think anybody was. And they said they have a strong demand for them, so they've begun building a series of spec homes. They have people that walk in, they've got money, they're ready to go, they want to find a home. I had a brother-in-law that happened to 2 years ago in Florida, and his home's still not up. Thank God he bought a home to live in while he was building his new, whatever the heck, it's a big home, whatever he's building for himself. And I was thinking, if he didn't have it, what would he have done? He'd be renting, somebody else making it. He bought that. So you still have a strong market for that. And obviously hearing that was encouraging to me. The Federal Reserve is going to release their April 30th, May 1st FOMC minutes. Come on. Every member has said they want to see more data. I don't see anybody saying, let's go now. Do you? If so, please write me and show me the guy that has said that. And I read all these things. They are using the word several. Several to me, where I went to school, meant 3 or more. A couple is 2. So if you're going to tell me that you want to see several more data reports, that's going to be May, June, July as a minimum. Could mean that they also want to see August. You're now past it. So September, for some of the members, is still very much alive. Don't take that off your sheet. It's still the highest probability today on the CME Fed watch page. That's where traders think it'll be. But then you get the diehards that talk the last quarter of the year. Now, that's October, November, December. That's not September. So you've got to pay attention to the grammar, what they're saying. They know the words they're choosing. And remember, they're all helping write those Fed minutes. And those minutes, don't we look at each word if there's a change, if a phrase dropped? So be ready for that. Petroleum stocks at 9:30 in the morning. And then the big boy, NVIDIA, after the close of business. Okay? So those are the things that we'll be watching. Amazon down again today. Got hit actually pretty hard. I think it closed on a good note given all that it's done. Netflix, I'm hearing calls for $750 a share out of that now. As we're taking a look at AMC, It's done better than I thought. You know, we know that the meme boys drove it up towards $12, $13, and the company smartly took advantage, rolled stock for debt. In other words, wrote off $165 million worth of debt, and that was a great move for them. Tesla, the battle's going to be tomorrow. Are they going to give Mr. Musk his due? They should. Without him, if you don't pay him, what do you have in that company? You think that you can make Tesla something without that man? Boy, are you wrong. And you'll say, is it a one-trick pony? Pretty much. Pretty much. It is, all right? He's unusual. Copper backing off a little bit. Gold backed off with the markets today as well. So let's take a look at what we've got. Walmart, as I told you, is the stellar in the retailing. Now, we saw Macy's have a beat today and Lowe's. Lowe's was the surprise to me because Home Depot didn't look good when their numbers came out, and these came out good. And of course, this is picking up. Now, the consumer, as we know, more selective, being very careful, and they are price conscious. So on the heels of this will be your Targets and other people that notice that, and they're going to do things about it. I went through all the food chains that are doing that. Are you going to fill this gap, or is that just going to be a breakaway from everything? That's going to be what traders ask themselves. Gaps typically get filled. This market's not acting like it has any intention at this point of doing that. Higher lows, higher highs. The market well over the upper Bollinger Band, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. The most you typically go in stocks is 7. Futures is 5. So you could have a little more. And this is not a sign of weakness or a blow-off. This is still a sign of strength in the marketplace. And when we take a look at where you're at here, look at how this base is now in there. That's the one thing the chart is telling you, where the base is. So breaks, when they do come, for whatever reason, we'll take a hard look at the chart again. You are overbought, over the Bollinger Band, in a breakout mode. I get it. Let's see where it ends up. Then we come over to MGM. So we'll be through covering this. All it did, and it was not a very good play. It rallied to the 200-day average, actually, yeah, and failed there. Nothing that's important. It didn't do anything. It sort of stuck at the 18-day average. Momentum turned down today. Not a pretty chart. Wouldn't waste time on it now. Here's Tesla smartly rallying up to the resistance of the 100-day average in the upper Bollinger Band. All I can say is pay the man. Pay him. He has it coming. FCX. You can see how the market is sitting here with Freeport. I was watching the interview with the chairman of Freeport today, and he is just so bullish. All materials, all metals. He said there's just a shortage, and he's reading what I have been reading. You start cutting interest rates to spur on economies, away you go. Can you go out and get copper? No. The answer is no. It costs a fortune to put up a new mine. It makes no financial sense for how much you have to put in to get out in your payback period. So it's either you accumulate other companies or organically you just grow your own business. And he believes that the copper price is going up. He really likes copper. I do too. $5 was my target coming into this year, and you hit 520 already. So just like the guys in the stock market that were looking for, remember the S&P, it's going to go to 5,000, all right? And I thought 5 in copper was enough. On the next break, I'll take a look and be looking at it. I'm going to run some price counts on it. I think there's a lot of room on the runway to go yet before it's all said and done. But remember, we're going to see deliveries made, as I told you. Copper's on boats, tugs, everything coming here. They'll get that settled up for the nearby contract, and then the question is what next? But as you lower interest rates and you spur on building and infrastructure and whatever else you're doing, watch out. Remember, the U.S. doesn't know how to cut spending, be it Biden or Trump. They're going to spend more money. And I read a whole article today that showed history why that doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yeah. the opposite point of view as to Japan using an example of it. You know, what their debt to their GDP was, craziness, other countries, and they're still here and they're still humming. So there's always three sides to a story, yours, theirs, and what's in the middle. Higher lows, higher highs, still embedded in XLF. It still looks strong. XLI, all right, still embedded. You've come down. If you clear the highs of Monday, be careful. That could give you like a jet engine go, and you could be at 127. On the other hand, if the market stalls here and starts down, 124 is a likely number, and you probably lose the bullish embedded reading. Then we get to the consumer, and as I told you, the battle's at the 100-day average. You could see it. You're not even making it up to the upper band. So it's all going to be between, as I see it, the 18-day average and that to see what the consumer is going to be able to do and not do. You hear so many conflicting stories. All I know is that they're still buying. They've changed their habit of what they're buying, but they're buying. So we get to the home builders, and as I said, Toll Brothers had a good day. I thought the market might try to make a run to the 18-day average of closes. It got to 106.19. The 18-day average is 105.98. It has lost the embedded reading. It could still do that. So I don't see it in a buy mode at all. I see a market that told you to come out of longs, if anything, and go to the sideline. In the energy sector, you don't have a trend right now. You have a lower low and a higher high stuck at the 18-day average of closes. In gold market, let it embed, and then you get involved in it again. If it doesn't embed, you're going to get a correction. If you didn't catch it already and you saw my report, just be a little patient here. We'll try to do our best for you. I still like silver over gold in terms of one-on-one. Silver looks to me like a better buy. And in the copper market, you've had this phenomenal move, and now the market's ready to give you a little bit of a correction. But if it doesn't lose the embedded reading, I think you want to be a buyer. If you tune into my morning video tomorrow, my subscriber video, we'll be discussing copper, I can tell you already. In TLT, higher lows, higher highs, and overbought. Why would you want to do anything yet? Let's see the FOMC minutes and how the market reacts to that. And then the dollar versus the euro. I write tonight a big report on Miss Lagarde. She did an interview in London today, and I read parts of the transcript and I saw notes on what she said as well. And it looks to me like she's baked in for a rate cut in the month of June. So that's what I got out of that. FXE, is that bullish or bearish? If the U.S. is keeping rates higher for longer, at least until September, that's what I think will be, is that bullish or bearish? That's going to be the question the market has to answer. So you put it together. We come up with trade ideas together in the morning, give you what they're doing and why I see them on a chart. And the difference is between what I do and so many others. People send you, buy the market here, here's the reason why. We go to the charts together. And I admit, I get away sometimes, unfortunately, from my own work. And I missed a couple of big plays this year because I was so smart. Oh, the markets were too overbought. You shouldn't get involved. Who doesn't make those mistakes? I'm human like anyone else. If you look at the futures, the spider videos, this is what the members login looks like. And below it are the weekly charts and the special reports, by the way. And special reports are included free with my subscriptions to this. Why? Because the average guy out there only gets 2 of my reports a year for free. After that, he pays a fee for them. They're included with this. The subscription's the way to go. By the way, you know what my subscription on my combo gives you? 44 videos every 30 days. If you just assume the S&P, the spider, that video is 22 a month. The futures by itself, 22. You don't think you're getting a lot of work on that? And by the way, when you look at the videos, what I hate is, where am I in it? I want to jump to an area. In our member website, there'll be a scroll bar. pull it and it lights up. It tells you, oh, I'm in this area, I'm in the metal area, I'm in the interest rate area. You drop it where you want and it lets you go. It's that simple. So time is important to all of us. It's 5 studies that you're going to see on it. I teach you how to work with them. It's way better if you take my charting course first, and then I'm just drilling this into you, and you build your own techniques with it. That's the beauty of it all. So how do you get all this? How do you work with it? Where are you? It's simple. First, you're going to get trade recommendations from me each and every day that I follow up with you on in the videos. Can't beat that. It's at iraepstein.com research. Move your cursor to the top here. It'll take you there. And when you get there, take a look at them. I'm going to repeat. The price of a cup of coffee, a large drink at Starbucks, and you can get the Spider ETF or the futures by itself. Give it a try. 22 of the videos. I'm Ira. You have a good evening.